Hello, I'm Kevin J. N. Hughes, author of The Undamned, and today I'm telling the story of my encounter with a bent neck lady. Years went by, probably 20, almost 30 years went by, where I had had no answers. I had looked up ghost stories about Officers Row. I hadn't really, most of them are obviously soldiers. Who had stayed at the barracks at some point and died in accidents or whatever, passed away in accidents at the base or whatever. But and I hadn't learned any stories, but eventually, like I said, 20, almost 30 years go by, at least like 23 years go by, um, where I'm uh I'm now in uh my late 20s and I owned a bookstore at this time. In At this point I'm in my late 20s, I think, and I own a bookstore, and every day I would read, and I would read lots of theology books because it was a Christian bookstore, and I would also read lots of ghost story books just for fun. So one day I'm reading a book called Haunted Vancouver, Washington, which I actually still have that book. It's an awesome book, and it talked about this woman who passed away in one of the houses on Officers Row. Who the story is that she was a babysitter for one of the officers who lived there, a young officer, like a lieutenant, and she was a babysitter for him and his wife. And she was I can't remember if the story said she was 17 or if it said she was 18, but she was very young, and she and this officer ended up having a tryst, if you will. He committed adultery with her. And um, in the midst of this adultery, she became pregnant. And when she got pregnant, she thought that her young officer would run away with her. But he didn't. He had his own he had a family, he had a wife, and he basically told her, "I'm not going to leave my wife for you, and I'm not going to leave my career to run away with you. Um, you're on your own." And this woman was so distraught that she went up to her little apartment that she had in their home, which was in the attic, and and right in front of the window, she hanged herself from the window and ended her own life in that way. And there are lots of ghost stories associated with her where she's seen in a flowing nightgown because that's what she was wearing when she tragically passed away. And some people see her hanging in the window, essentially reenacting her own passing. So I felt vindicated. I felt absolutely vindicated having discovered that I was in fact not the only one to have seen this. Lots of other people have seen it. And so that concludes my story of my own bent neck lady. If you have a ghost story you'd like me to tell, please send it to me here or at hugheskevin117 Thank you so much. Come back tomorrow for my haunted lake story.